Hello, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, you know where you're at. This is another weekly rundown with Thomas Queter and Robert Murray. This is InspireNation. We have a new team member, and his name is Alec Woodruff, and he's a pal. And
How's
Alec,
it going, everybody?
how's everybody doing? You know the drill.
Alec, tell everybody what you're doing.
So I am the new social media director, new social media manager for the campaign, and I'm happy to be on the team. And yeah,
We're happy to have you.
So, but the team's happy to have you. I met Alec last November at a fundraiser for the campaign with Spike Cohen, and got to know Alec a little bit, talked back and forth a bit. And then I saw the social media he was doing for his Young Americans for Liberty chapter. And so, of course, I asked, Alec, do you want a position on the campaign? And what did you say, Alec?
there was no hesitation. I quickly fell right into the rabbit hole, and here we are.
Welcome. Alec, is there anything specific you want to talk about what you're going to be doing?
So as far as just managing your social media, I just making things more formal and being able to reach out to more people. That's always the hope, to spread the message of liberty. And nothing really more to it than that. I'm happy to be on the team and get some work done.
So what Alex means to say is that I'm a boomer and I'm bad at handling my own social media. We're going to work together, and he's going to help me put out better social media, just like Robert does.
Better.
We've got some other things going on, actually, today. My friend Derek T is here. Derek came for the steak.
I sure did. Yes.
How was that steak?
It was fantastic. And as you recommended, do you put on seasoning or marinade?
If it's good steak, no. If it's bad steak, yes. Seasoning, marinating, and overcooking is to keep you safe if you're eating bad meat.
Yep, that's the correct answer. And it's really cool because these people, like, you're my internet friends. We hang out like all the time, actually. And now I get to like see you in real life, which is pretty cool.
Kind of trippy, actually.
Yeah.
And Matt Lacey is back. Matt, you want to tell them everything you've done today?
Well, we're working on converting Thomas's chair here so they can charge better. I think he's going to be charging about 2.5 times faster than he was capable of before in the house. In the van, he'll be charging probably 4 times faster than he used to once I get done with that portion of the project tomorrow. I first had to build this little system I got here for his indoor charger, so I got a nice little waterproof charger, and I got some cables I made up for him. So that we use this from a 12-volt charging system to charge his batteries individually. I had to change his chair around a bit to make it so we could separate the batteries for charging and then reconnect them together easily for use.
And what is that going to do for the batteries? Why are we separating them to charge?
Well, separating the charge, so batteries like to be charged first off. Second off, when you have 2 running in series, is what Thomas has, you want them both to be charged at the same level. You don't want one to be overcharged and one undercharged, which is what can happen when you're charging 2 batteries together, because they're never an exact match. So if you're charging them in series, you aren't necessarily balancing the power properly between the 2. So we're going to separate that out. So when he's charging, they're brought up to the same level of charge in the long run.
So the real reason for this is that I don't stop. My clock only lets me sleep 4 to 6 hours a night, and the chair takes a minimum of 8 hours to charge. And as Matt just pointed out, we'll be able to charge faster. 2.5 times in the house, 4 times faster in the van. Now, why would that be advantageous to me to be able to charge in the van? Well, campaigning, you got to go everywhere. It's not always enough time to stop. I don't like to stop. I like to keep moving. And thanks to Matt, that's what I'm going to be able to do. I'm going to be able to keep moving, doing the work, meeting people, speaking at events, which we have some coming up. On the 23rd, there are 2 events. Both are for petitioning, by the way. We'll be speaking at an anti-mandate rally with the People's Convoy. And they are shifting gears away from the specifics of COVID to the specifics of government overreach, which is very libertarian. They don't want their governor or their president to write down an edict and apply it to everybody in a manner that's unfair to many. And that's libertarian. So I'm going to speak to them with Larry Sharp, and they've invited the 5 hopefuls for the Republican line for governor. We're all going to be there. We're all going to be speaking. And come on out. You know, you can sign our petition there. You can hear us speak. You can sign up to be petitioners. You can join the cause. You can join the hottest political battle that New York has ever had, which is merely to get a third party on the line. And you can thank Andrew Cuomo for how hard it is to get on the line now. It's 3 times the requirements. 45,000 signatures instead of 15 that Cuomo snuck into the budget. That's ridiculous. That's unconstitutional. And that restrains our right to association. Right to association means that we can belong to whatever party we want. We can form a new party. We should all be able to participate in our government. And when they make non-ballot access parties and independent candidates of no party beholden to such strict and extreme requirements, that removes the people from the government. And we do live in the United States of America. And if I remember correctly, it is supposed to be for the people, by the people. And if the people can't be active in their government, how is it by the people? It's not. I would say that voting is one way that it's by the people. But if your options are restricted, do you really have options? Alec, what do you think about that?
I'm with you 100%. For a long time, even since I've been born, I haven't been alive all that long. There's only been 2 parties on the main stage, and never really had much of a choice. You either have red or blue. So that's really it. And it's sickening to an extent.
Old enough to remember, us in this room are actually old enough to remember the last third-party presidential candidate. Derek? Who was it? Put you on the spot.
Presidential?
Yes.
Joe.
No. Third party in the debates.
Oh, Ron Paul then, right?
You.
Gary Johnson?
Back to the 90s.
Ross Perot.
Bingo. What happened after Ross Perot? They formed the debate commission to keep third-party candidates out of the debates. They also changed the requirements to be in the debates at whim, depending on what's going on. It is not impartial. It is made up of Democrats and Republicans, and they choose who gets national coverage.
And that's been my uninformed opinion. But to sum it up, that it almost seems as if a third party gets traction, the other 2 parties want to team up against this other party.
What happens when 2 parties team up so often as they do?
Some kind of duopolistic system.
Almost like one party rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. What an amazing observation.
I hope you're all picking up on our sarcasm.
Oh, yeah.
So not only do I have a crowd-funded wheelchair, not only did Matt come down, 6 or 8 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was like end of February or end of January.
End of January.
Yeah.
And then we got down here today, tomorrow to try to top off some of the project.
Yep, he fixed the chair then, and he's upgrading it now. That's voluntary. Right? He's doing this of his own accord because
That is amazing.
he chooses to. Nobody's taxing him to do it. No one's wasting his money to do it. He's choosing where he spends his money and what he does with it. That's the way things need to be. And to that note, to everyone listening, if you pay in your income tax, you can write off charitable donations. Find a charity. Decide where that portion of your taxes go. think it's something like 30% of your taxes can be written off in charitable donations. Find a charity you support and donate at least that 30% of what you're going to owe in taxes. Your accountant will work with you on that. And if you're in New York and you want to help us get on the line, help me get on the line, we need petitioners. You can sign up at the link going across. That's thomas.us. One T in quitter because I'm not a quitter. We're also trying to raise. You've got a graphic there, don't you, Robert?
I do.
We're trying to raise $5,000 to travel around and get these petitions. I was well received down in New York City, and there's a lot of people in New York City. I'd like to go there and help out that area, get their petitions. But I'll also be doing Albany. I'll be doing Oneida County. And between New York City and the National Convention, I'll be hitting all the farmers markets in my local area. So we're hoping that we can get more and more and more petitions. 45,000 minimum. That means we're shooting for 65 to 70,000 petitions.
You. There we go. Go to thomasqueeter.us.
If you want to help, go to thomasqueeter.us, scroll down a little bit, and sign up to volunteer as a petitioner. We need every last person willing to help. Remember, this is about your constitutional right to representation, your constitutional right to association, your constitutional right to be on the ballot yourself should you ever choose. If we get on the ballot, if we win enough, we will roll back some of these draconian rules when it comes to running for office. You shouldn't have to be beholden to one of, quote, two, unquote, parties to run for office. Guys, you got anything you want to add?
I would recommend helping Tom. He's a good friend of mine, and even if you're getting into politics, I don't hold that against you. You're a good guy, man.
Since you said that, when I met you, you were very apolitical. You didn't want to be involved in politics.
That is true. Yes.
What made you support me?
Well, basically, you're someone that's not part of the system, and you're actually running against, in my opinion, one of the worst parts of the system.
What part is that?
Chuck Schumer.
Out the window.
But
no truer words have been spoken.
New York is it's just terrible. Basically, my main position is to move out of New York. That's my solution, But Tom is literally the only person I could get behind to be I don't like this horrible state government. But Tom, he's all right. So yeah.
You hear that? In all of New York State, I'm the only person that Derek will support.
It's true. Yeah.
I can't think of a better compliment than that, personally.
If that doesn't say something, then what will?
He's not the only one. Alec, are you registered to vote?
I am not, no. But
why not?
Why not? Well, because I didn't plan on supporting any politician. But like I said, Tom, as of recent, if there's any campaign team for any future politician that I'd ever support, it'd be Tom Queter. So that means you watching, go down below and visit tomqueter.us and sign up.
Right. Who cares if you're across the world? Because I'm in Alaska and I do it. In fact, every Monday at 9 p.m. you can catch me and Thomas with a weekly rundown here. So,
one last thing before we let you folks go. You can also donate on the website. Every $5 roughly equates to one signature. One signature for $5. Couldn't agree more, Russell. If you could donate, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm sure Derek here greatly appreciates it. I promise I speak better normally. So I speak way better.
I want to shout out to LP Liberty Talk Radio, and I want to shout out to all you guys. You know, you all are welcome on my show anytime. I love doing this. You know, I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it. So, I may not be a politician, neither is Thomas. So vote for him.
I'm not a politician. I'm a guy who cares. I care about my community and my state. And that's why I do what I do. And, you know, if you could support that, please do. And otherwise, you know, Robert, I want to thank you. You put in a lot to be here every week for me in my campaign, and we all appreciate it on the team. We all know what you do. We all know what it takes. All right. You guys have a good night.
All right, let's do this. Hey, stick around in the studio. Next week, Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, weekly rundown with Thomas Queter. If you want to call on the show or something, let me know. Hit me up. Okay. Here we go. God bless.